Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
I would love to tell you that was we all were like doing a bit from the beginning.
Good
there.
bit.
But right before we hit live and record, Brand said, "I've never felt better in my life." And then he almost choked talking.
I almost choked on my own saliva,
Yeah.
which was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird. But I didn't, and that I think is good news. That is good news. You know what else is good news? The gospel. You know what else is good news? You know what else is good news?
What's that, Brand?
Balsam's Hill Christmas and July sale.
Balsam's Hill?
Balsam Hill's
Hey,
Christmas and
what
July
hill are you going to? Balsam's? What other hill would I go to?
Christmas and July sale.
This is
50% off.
Balsam's Hill. Womp, womp, womp.
I'm trying to talk about the good people at Balsam Hill.
They're amazing. Balsam's Hill is what you were trying to talk about. Head's starting to itch a little. Sorry. Well, that's a joke we'll tell later. But yeah, Balsam Hill as a company,
Great.
phenomenal. The decorations even better. Handmade ornaments. Tree looks real. Candles smell fantastic. All of the stuff right now up to 50% off balsamhill.com. And it gets better, Brand.
It does extra 5% off with the promo code podcasts.
All caps.
And
All
I got to be
caps.
honest with you. If you've been listening to our Christmas and July shows on the go and you're like, man, they're really hyping up this stuff, go see it for yourself on the Philo. Philo.tv/DTH. Not only can you see all the wonderful decorations, but you can also watch 99% of the movies that we were reviewing this holiday season. I mean, and by the holiday season, I mean July.
Christmas in July.
For Christmas in July.
But you get them on the DVR. They're yours all year long. You
Yeah.
can celebrate Christmas in March like Brand does.
Well, now, if someone has lice, does it affect your chest hair?
Who has lice?
No
I
one
just
has.
said my head was itching a little. You jumped straight to lice.
sorry. That's
like
on
a
me.
monster.
Does it get in
thought
your
you-
chest hair?
I thought you were going to say, does that impact their ability to be negative when reviewing Joey Lawrence films?
Oh, whoa! Impossible!
Hold up there, buddy.
I gotta say, this has been a lot of fun going back in the archives and
Yeah.
finding some movies that
Problematic.
Well, it's the problematic things, but also that maybe I've missed or we haven't reviewed yet that have been asked about. This specific movie has been thrown out to us over the past 5 years tens of times, right?
Many a time.
I was going to say tens of hundreds, but that's not true.
We've actually
What about your arm? Does it affect your arm?
I just want to scratch my entire head right now.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Bramblefest is coming up tomorrow. Is that
Yeah.
accurate? VIP dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Everything's
Everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
We're
Dan-
fine.
Dan's
We'll
in
do a
helmet.
lice check at the door. Everything's fine. I'm
Great.
kidding. Nothing to
We're all
worry
gonna have
about.
combs.
Not everything's fine.
This is a big
Good.
joke. It's a big
good.
joke.
It's good.
It's a
But
bit. We did bits last week. People loved them. More bits.
This week we did a lice bit.
which is weird. I do gotta say it's super weird.
Yeah.
similar
Next week is malaria. If you can believe it. It's. I don't look. It's,
Wait, from Ride? Malaria from the character from Ride?
Yeah.
we actually have been asked to do Hitched for the holidays. A review for it for 5 straight years.
Tens of time is
Tens of
correct.
times.
It's
right.
definitely not
You
triple
can say
digits.
it really just gets into your like the scalp and it just
Permeates.
yeah.
Just gets right in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it does.
Ryan,
Yeah.
how excited are you to be heading down to that Greenville
That's
for
right.
the weekend to hang out?
Itching to get down here.
It's been the show's been on for 5 years, but it's a 7-year itch in terms of you wanting to get down to Greenville. You know,
You know about this this here city? It's on all the lists.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I got the brochure. Remember? They
that's
sent me the magazine in the mail.
Yeah, they did.
That's right. You'll get the same one in your welcome basket.
That's
Don't
right.
you worry. But you're prepared, and that's all you can
I'm
ask for.
pumped. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna read it on the plane. It's gonna be sick.
Really excited about Bramblefest.
No pun on sick, Dan. No pun on sick.
No, or brand for that matter.
Virtual tickets still available.
Still available.
Because it's virtual and unlimited. Check the Hallmark.com /fest, and you can pick up those in person.
Enter
completely.
promo code HI there. It won't get you anything, but I'd love to know that you're thinking of us.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fun to do.
Hi there. Well, hi there. All right. Well, let's do this. Hitched for the holidays.
Strong start.
November 25th.
We nailed it out of the gate. First length is ours. Let's see how we finish the race.
Hey, Ryan, look this up. What day was Thanksgiving in 2012?
This is not a quick Google search, Bran.
I feel like that's pretty quick, right?
What day? Thanksgiving 20. Well, no, it's not quick.
Just do the thing.
Thanks. I'm hitting the period by accident. What day? Thanksgiving 2012. 22nd, Thursday the 22nd.
Okay, this is not nearly as exciting as I thought
So
it would
they
be.
didn't do it
November
Thursday
25th, 2012, and it went a little something like this. It's Thanksgiving Day. It's not. It is in the movie. It's close in real life in 2012. And we hear the radio DJ, Pondonde Replay, is playing.
Turn the music up.
Yeah, turn the music up. Is playing nonstop Christmas music, and we meet Rob, who's in the back of a taxi cab, breaking up with his girlfriend, complaining about Christmas music. Whoa! At Thanksgiving dinner, his family's ragging on him for breaking up with a gal on Thanksgiving Day and being afraid of commitments. We then meet Julie, who is at Thanksgiving dinner with her family, and a date that, I gotta be honest, totes has a foot fetish. Listen, we're not judging here, but that's totally his deal. Andy's in the occupation, that's hazardous. Rob goes to bring his grandma a Thanksgiving plate, and she's like, I'm dying. And he's like, what are you talking about? What do you want me to bring you for Christmas? I don't want you to die. I want to bring you something for your last Christmas. And she's like, I want to meet the girl you're going to marry. So he decides that he's going to go on Richie's lists.
Richie's List.
Yeah. It's like Craigslist, but for
Richie
Richie's
aficionados.
That's exactly right.
They have to know all the characters.
You have to.
Yeah.
100%. And
we give it away.
Give it away. And to try to find a fake girlfriend for the season, so that he can fool his dying grandma. And wouldn't you know it, he stumbles upon an ad that Julie has put up for a fake relationship just to shut her mom up. So they meet, and he goes to join her for her company Christmas party, and she's like, first rule, first things first.
I'm the realist.
And also, this is a hands-off relationship, and then immediately makes out with him to prove to a coworker that she has a boyfriend. He drinks a ton, and she's like, I don't want this. You're wild. You're wacky. Double dare. And she's like, I don't think that this is going to work out. But the next day, he says, I'm sorry, and they agree to give it another shot. And they immediately go to lie to Rob's dying grandma in person. And she then joins the family to decorate the Christmas tree, something she's never done before, seeing as how she is Jewish. And he joins her for the first night of Hanukkah, something that he's never done because he's not Jewish. But here's the thing. She told her family that he is Jewish. So he's got to try to act like he knows what he's doing. So he's like mumbling the prayer. He's lighting the menorah, but promptly blowing out the candle like it's his birthday. But that's okay, because they realize that they're kind of having fun together. Everything's going great. They even kiss for reals. Big kiss. But problem, his mom called her mom to get together, and so he goes to his parents' house and is like, hey, you got to take all these decorations down because they're Jewish. And we got to try to be welcoming. And they...
no, because he's converting to Judaism because of her.
Sure.
Right.
Yes. And so they then kiss big ones again, and they get in the cab and they kiss some more, and I'm sure that they are going to get dropped off at the respective places
no
and go
doubt
on their
about
own
it.
ways,
No
all
doubt
above
about it.
board.
Yep.
It's time for the dinner, and his parents went freaking all in on Hanukkah decorations. They made a Hanukkah tree. Instead of taking down the Christmas tree, they made a Hanukkah. They bought a bunch of not menorahs. And it's all big funnies, and they actually end up having a lot of fun. The parents, the families are getting along well, and they're liking each other. That is until Grandma, who ended up not dying and getting out of the hospital, does collapse, and she does have to go back to the hospital. And it is while they are at the hospital waiting that the truth comes out, that they have a big argument. They're like, this isn't gonna work, and it's this whole thing. And then there's a lot of like family dynamic stuff that like is like very serious. Like, hey mom, why'd you just go missing all the time when we were kids? And she's like, I was bowling. So that stuff's happening, and that's something. It's New Year's Eve. Now the original plan was they were going to date until New Year's, but now they're broken up. So what do you do? But it's New Year's Eve, and they kind of realize that they're missing each other. So they end up. She leaves this party early. He's like, you know what? I want to try to find her. And so he goes to her company party that's happening, or a party that he knew that he was going to be at. And she's getting in a taxi, and he's like, hey! And she doesn't hear him. So he steals a police horse and goes galloping down the roads of Manhattan.
They're a police horse? I was not aware that they said that out loud.
Horse.
Oh, police horse. That makes a lot more sense. I've seen those before.
Horse.
Pretty blurry there, police horse.
It is blurry.
Yeah. Everything's so blurry. That's what Incubus said that.
Yeah. So he rides down the road. He catches up with her, and they kiss. They agree. Like, hey, let's give it a shot, and they kiss. And then you're like, yay, the credits, except not the credits. We get in written format the outcome of everybody in this movie. And that, my friends, was Hitched for the Holidays.
We did it.
Done did it.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll check our hair here on the other side of the break. Here on Deck the Hallmark. All clear. Welcome back,
We're all
everybody.
having fun, and producer Erin look like she is just in constant shock, like hand over mouth the whole time.
Why?
I don't know why. Oh.
Got you. She's trying to hold back her laughter.
Of course.
So
we have
funny.
multiple takes.
Show's so funny. Well, let's talk about this movie.
I will say this Garland does come in handy to get you a good head scratch in. Sorry.
That is fun because if no one has lights, but if they did, it'd
did
be jumping
Right,
in.
It'd be jumping right in the old Garland back there. That's Garland for you.
That's Garland for you.
Good home for headlights.
I saw Home for Headlights live one time, by the way.
It was a tight venue.
It was super tight.
Yeah.
It's a little, kind of like jumping all over the place. Well, Ryan, what did you think about Hitched for the Holidays?
Hot take is the first segment of the show.
Hot take.
Yes.
Oh, it's the hot take. Dan's gonna judge me heavy. I've seen this film multiple times. It used to be part of the yearly watch rotation for the old Rye guy.
Really?
Well, so here's the thing, Dan. Like back in the day, this is before these flicks were mass produced, right? And so this one came out on DVD, and like there was only so many things to watch. Joey Lawrence was there. I said, let's do it. And so, but I haven't watched it in a few years, and watching it now, I regret the decision that it was a yearly watch. And I'm not just saying that to sound cool on this show.
You would never.
No. Everyone who listens knows I'm not cool. It's a tough flick to review in a lot of ways because I think the emotional base of it, by and large, works, but any of the comedy and almost everything else doesn't really work. I think by the time they got to the midnight mass, the chemistry is there. They Joey Lawrence and she feel very grounded together. I like that the Hallmark formula still is nowhere to be found, much like the flick we reviewed last week. You got two big kisses mid-film. I mean, I thought that was really interesting. The screwball humor just doesn't land in this movie. Anytime the movie tried to be funny, it just wasn't particularly funny. I liked the super serious stuff. I thought that was really kind of uncharted territory for Hallmark, and whatever year this was, that brand said when he made me look up Thanksgiving
2012.
Yeah. They were dealing with mental illness in a way, and I didn't think it was necessarily dealt with terribly. So I thought that was interesting. The ending would have worked better if his mom didn't tell him about the horse. We'll get to that later. Joey Lawrence and Julie absolutely crushed it again at the end, I thought. Mixed bag of a film. Serious stuff worked. Emotional stuff worked. None of the humor did. So make of that what you will.
I disagree 100% with that take, Ryan.
Of course you do.
Wow.
I liked all of the silly, goofy stuff, and anytime it got serious, it felt like just a huge curveball. I did like that. It just took me out of the film. And but the two leads I really liked in this movie, and I thought it was a lot of fun. It was very clear that they were made for each other, not blurry at all, and crystal clear. And I like that. I like the two of them. You're right. It's fun going back because you can see that each movie before, I don't know, like 2014, 2015, had a different feel. They all were like,
they were doing
their own thing, which is, it's nice. I like that. But I thought that the two leads were wonderful. I liked the goofiness and the ending before the credits, before the weird thing happens, really worked for me. I thought it was great. Dano?
I liked it less than both of you.
What?
But I will say that if I had to err on one side, I thought there were at least two comedic bits that did work for me. When they're playing with Grandma's Heart all movie, that did not work for me at all. I think this movie could have helped start the Me Too movement. Like there's that much sexual harassment in this movie that's just treated as dudes being dudes. It is a movie that does have moments that I think are good. Also, I really like Emily Hampshire. She's really good. Joey Lawrence is Joey Lawrence, so take that for what it's worth. I like a fake romance or fake relationship movie. I think they work better when it's only one-sided. The fact that this was a both and fake relationship is what I think made it tough for me, is because they really, at that point, Ryan is accurate. They tried to double down on the screwball comedy with both sides of the family. And I don't know, it just doesn't ever come off the way I felt like it should have. And then they have these credits at the end that basically treat it like we were watching like Ken Burns documentary, like we end the Civil War and it's like Robert E. Lee retreated home. They took the fake menorahs down. The Star of David was removed and the Star of Jesus was returned to the top of that Christmas tree. Like, what are we doing? This is a fake 84-minute movie. We don't need that. We don't need it from you, Hallmark. We don't need it from anybody. And so it just, there are worse movies. There are worse Hallmark movies. There are people that love this movie. And I see it. I don't agree with it, but I see it. I liked it more than the Christmas Ornament last week. I'll give it that.
Okay, fair. Let's get to all the feels where we talk about what in this movie gives us feels. Ryan?
I will say, genuinely, this is not a bit. This is no hyperbole. One of my favorite scenes in Hallmark history is Joey Lawrence and Julie in his room on Christmas Eve after they get back from Mass. It's just one of my favorite type of scenes in general amongst media, film, TV. Two people in a room, give them a couple pages of dialogue, make it a very, kind of like safe setting for them. And I just thought that both of them delivered. I mean, so I genuinely, I honestly think the reason I would come back to this film a few times in my life is because of that scene in particular. So that one really did it for me.
Man,
Ryan likes scenes, two people in a room
with two pages of dialogue.
And let's just see where it goes.
That was my whole screenwriting career.
Best I got is 2 pages. You figure out the rest.
Figure it out from there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
4 pages. It's a short feature.
The scene that I loved. So when her family walks in and they've done their house up with all the Hanukkah stuff, I'm like, oh no, this is going to go really poorly. But then the two families had a great night together, and you see this until Grandma collapsed. The two families are they're having fun together, and I just thought that's as they're looking on at their families dancing and stuff. I don't know, it made me happy. I like it when two different families can come together and have a wonderful holiday gathering. And this particular scene, I just felt like worked really well. Dano?
Yeah, I have written down, it's not real, though.
The credits.
Oh,
Probably.
that's what that's from.
That's your feels?
Yeah, I was very angry.
It's still real to me.
I was very angry that they did this in this movie.
Angry feels.
Like very, very angry that they gave us like an end to this movie. Like we were like, whatever happened to Grandma? Did the two get married? Like I just was like, this is absurd. No, absolutely not.
And if you close your eyes on every 24th of December, you'll hear the laughter.
Oh my gosh.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get to the Wait What and the What the Hallmark here on Deck the Hallmark. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're talking about Hitched for the holidays. We're at the Wait What part of the show. We're talking about what in this movie made us go wait what, and I'll kick it over to you, Ryan. Ryan?
Brian, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I have too many. I forgot to pare these down, so I'm gonna pick and choose here. But the first one I had down is he gets flack for not picking between the veal and the eggplant parm in the beginning. I mean, how do these people construct their plate? Isn't it kind of commonplace to take a little bit of everything at the table?
Especially on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
But also,
I
it's
thought that-
definitely veal parm there, right? Like you definitely go veal. You don't go eggplant.
I don't like either of those dishes, honestly.
Okay.
I'm
It'd be a
Italian
hard
fella,
pass on both for Brian.
I'm not an eggplant guy.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. If I had to pick, I'd go veal. Pretty wild that grandma just straight up without any pretense calls Joey Lawrence her favorite grandson. Like
Yeah.
no one else was around, but like, she's got like several grandchildren.
That's right. Yep. Just coming in hot.
Dan, to your point from earlier, the movie really wants you to know not only is Huck, I believe his name is, a serial womanizer and inappropriate.
Oh my gosh.
But he's also a sports writer. We emphasize this by having him wearing a Yankee jersey
unbelievable.
in the office.
Unbelievable.
Over top of his button-up collared shirt.
Yeah. Hey, make sure
it's
you
not
know
like
this is the sports guy. This is the guy right here.
It's not like he's about to go to a game. It's not like he's about to do a live hit for the web show. He's just wearing a Yankee jersey. It didn't land for me. Why didn't they just tell Julie to not hang the 116-year-old ornament? Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, not fair to her.
Pick another one.
Yeah. There's a
pick
box
different
of ornaments over there. They're not all family heirlooms. Let's give the person that's never decorated a tree the most important ornament. That's on you guys. It's not on her. Not on her.
I'm with you 100%. A hundo, as the children say.
Yeah.
It's really nice that.
Those are the children.
Those are the children.
Sometimes we get them on the line. Don't worry about it.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Lit.
Lit. Rizzy.
Bramblefest is gonna be off the chain.
Those
really
are. That's
nice.
actually a clip we got of the children from 2012 because the movie's from 2012.
Yeah, that was recorded back
It's
when we knew
crazy.
the pod was coming
Yeah.
7 years later.
No diggity, no doubt. Was that from the 90s?
Yeah, I think so.
There's a no diggity children. How far back do we go with these?
Well, YouTube was a thing by 2012, so they were
Yeah,
like,
of
they
course.
were.
How
they found
funny is
it.
the Hump Day commercial?
So funny. That's just audio from my childhood. Hump Day? Sorry, go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
That was Dan in present day for anyone not watching on Fire at the end there.
Not another
Really
clip.
nice. Yeah. Really nice that Julie printed out the lyrics to these well-known religious Christmas songs. It would have been also nice if Joey Lawrence tipped her off to the fact that there's actually going to be a book.
There's a hymnal.
With the lyrics to the well-known religious Christmas songs.
There's a hymnal.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Joey Lawrence, last one. Joey Lawrence picked, he memorized an entire book of Jewish, maybe even Yiddish jargon in like a day and a half. Is Joey Lawrence a Mensa member? And there's others, but you know what? They're not important. End list.
Yes. To that, I have this one down, which is related, which is he's already done a night. you don't have to learn all the you
No.
know the one that's gonna happen.
You
right?
do one at a time.
Unless he's like
You do one at a time.
maybe night 2 is completely different and it's not the same prayer, so I got to learn this whole book just in case. I feel like you could have asked.
It's like they're spinning a wheel to determine what prayer is night 2. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Just study one night at a time, bro.
Yeah. Ryan, you took most of mine. The only other one that I have is, so they meet each other on Richie's List. We love Richie's List. It's wonderful. It's a good time. And each of them find the post and they stop in their tracks because they see a picture of the other person. And they're like, yeah, it's a good looking person. I like the way that person looks. They read the thing and they're like, yeah, this sounds good. Let's meet up. They meet up for the first time and they're standing side by side by one another. And they look over and they each give each other one of these looks like, like the look that you give somebody that you're meeting on a blind date, where you don't know what the person looks like, and you're like,
no, but
they
know
exactly what they look
exactly like their picture.
The
They may be
picture.
wearing the same thing that they're wearing in their picture.
Are you?
You're
Yeah, you know
brave.
how you can tell the picture.
Unbelievable.
The picture. Dano?
The Hallmark writers and movie makers here in 2012 believed it was a solid idea to give a character a foot fetish in this movie. That is the definition of wait what. That was
Foot fetish, and he's in the foot.
He's a podiatrist, but they literally say he has a foot fetish, and then you watch him go full Quentin Tarantino for like 5 or 10 minutes in this movie. It was probably 30 seconds, but it felt like that long. It's wild. 2012 Hallmark was the Wild West. Someone steals.
What's it called when you're in a certain type of business? Profession.
Yes, you're in the profession. You
Full
got it.
profession.
Do you feel better now?
Yeah,
feel good?
it was bothering the heck out of me.
Hey, Brand, you heard about that atomic bomb, by the way?
All right. All right.
We haven't brought it up on air yet, but I'm glad you did, Ryan.
For the listeners that aren't double deckers.
Yeah, he didn't know Oppenheimer was based upon the guy that basically constructed the atomic bomb.
Oh, true story, bro?
Yeah,
True story,
True
bro?
story. Oh, that one. We're talking about that bomb? It's not just a random sci-fi bomb. It's a real bomb? This is wild.
What's the deal with that bomb?
That could get out of hand. It went like this. So what? Tell me about this bomb.
Literally everyone around was
What
like,
bomb?
what?
And the bomb in the movie. Do you mean the atomic one? Oh, it's that one? Yeah. And then later on, we laugh, we make fun of him. And then like a half hour later, we're sitting around the table eating some pulled pork sandwiches. He goes, got to be honest, up until this point, I did not know this was based upon a true story. That's Oppenheimer in theaters July 21st.
Brand Barbie, also based on a true story.
That's right. Both.
Well, I knew that.
Both biopics. Yes, of course. Of course they are. A man in this movie steals a police vehicle, steals a police horse, and is rewarded for it. And we know
call
that.
a horse a vehicle?
Yeah, that's what the police officer uses to get from place to place. Just steals it. And everybody's like, you know what? Good on you. You're a white guy. Just like everybody's like, yeah, of course you stole the police horse. What else would you do there? Nothing. This is the same man that is lying to his dying grandma. Yeah. He's lying to his dying grandmother. That is this guy, what he's doing. And I, once again, baffled. And then when he finally meets Emily Hampshire and they're trying to go over plans, he says to her, so the least, like, whatever you can tell me, don't tell me. Like, I don't want to know. The less I know, the better. Bro, you have to go to her family's house. Every other fake relationship movie is like, all right, we need to find out how we met, our first date, what we do together, where we live, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, don't tell me anything. It'll be like, whose line is it anyway? It'll be fun. I'll show up. I'll do some voices. Everything will be cool.
Points don't matter.
Points don't matter. That's exactly right. That's impressive. He orders 2 drinks at the bar. Bold move, but I love it. Bold move. And his first drink is a vodka tonic.
It's a vodka drink?
And then he doesn't do a whiskey drink. He does do a lager drink.
It's a lager drink?
And he doesn't get to the cider drink yet.
No.
But he does sing a few songs.
Yeah? That reminds him of the good times.
What about the best times?
Yes.
Yeah.
Donnie.
So he orders 2 drinks. First one, vodka tonic, 2 limes. Very specific. Second one, beer in a bottle. Any beer you want to bring me, as long as it's in a glass bottle, you bring me draft or can, so help me, you're getting shot on sight.
But that's because he can't decide on it.
But the first drink is vodka tonic, 2 limes. Bring it.
He knows that one. But then if he has to pick between a bunch of different beers.
He didn't have a problem with whatever vodka you were bringing him.
It didn't matter how. Less I know about the vodka, the better.
Yeah. I'm glad that Ryan liked the scene where she's staying over at his house, because I found it creepy AF.
Oh dear.
This guy, all right, I understand that the next morning is Christmas morning. Both of these people live in Manhattan. They both live in New York. Why in the world is she like, yeah, I'll stay in this creepy single bed in one of like your siblings' rooms instead of going home to her adult apartment and then just getting up early and coming back the next morning? Like if you're
keeping up the illusion.
If you're in a fake relationship and you live in New York, wouldn't you just go home? Like you're not fooling it. Like that doesn't help anybody. They're grown people. They're not 15 years old. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Guess it's just me. That's all I got.
It's just you. Let's get to. I mean, it's 2 pages, Dan. It's 2 pages of dialogue.
Yeah, Dan, I refer you to page
see where it goes,
and you just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, they freeballed the last couple pages.
They freeballed it. Gosh. It's a different movie.
Hopefully, don't have lice.
Oh,
that movie does have the sports writer in it, though.
It sure does. Let's talk about the Hallmarks, where we wonder what could have been, maybe happened, to give us some clarity to questions we still have. Now, here's the thing with this one is we know literally everything about everyone, but let's see what we can come up with here. Ryan?
Well, it's interesting you said that, because that's what I was going to start with, is that I didn't recognize the names of most of the people in those end credits. Like I was like, were these people in the movie? But then, so since there's really nothing left plot-wise, I am curious as to why Joey Lawrence didn't end up doing more Hallmark movies. Like, it seems like it would have been a no-brainer. We don't have an answer to that, but that was kind of my thought. Because, Dan, to your point, I mean, he's perfectly Joey Lawrence in this film, and perfect Joey Lawrence is perfect for these Christmas films. But
it seemed like he was going to be the male CCB or Lacey of the time, where like the brass at Hallmark was like, let's find some 90s stars and bring them back into the fold and make them stars again.
Pure speculation, but it's an educated guess. Bill Abbott wanted to make this about the stars, wanted to make the stars the females, because he also wanted to pull Canadian actors and be able to just plug and play the men and just have them, like, you know, nobody had heard of any of the dudes in these movies. Once Bill Abbott gets in his routine, his rhythm, it's the 90s nostalgia of the female leads. The male leads don't have that. But you guys are not wrong. Joey Lawrence would have done great at these, because he is. That's what he is.
I liked him. in it. Yeah. I liked him in it quite a bit. Dan, you pointed this out. Now I haven't been able to stop thinking about it.
Lice?
Yeah. But also, maybe, and I don't want to be stealing yours, so just stop me if I am. The sports writer?
Yeah.
And his ear?
Yeah, that's mine.
Okay, well then you do it.
If you notice in one of the close-ups of the sports writer, he has 2 or 3 piercings running up the side of his ear. Holes. Like, he clearly wears 3 or more piercings.
Just on a regular day.
On a regular day as a human being.
Which is something that this character would never do. And now I just want to know this guy.
I want to know what he's like in real life.
Yeah, because he
for sure. It was wild. And the fact that they didn't cover it up, he's like, we'll just do it. We'll do it. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put him in later.
Past.
Like, what's he do? Like, he just is,
I don't know. I'm all about it.
Yeah. Good for him. But it was obvious.
The guy who wears a Yankees jersey over his button-up isn't
triple piercing.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
So I just can't. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Well, who is this guy?
Who is he?
What's his story?
Who is this guy?
Come on.
I'm not kidding around here.
It's not my bag.
He's got 3 piercings in one ear.
How many on the other?
We never get to see.
We don't see
his right ear is always off camera.
Around here.
Could be anywhere from 0 to 4 or 5.
How's your belly feeling? Got the Whompers?
Got a belly Whompers. We did, everybody. Congratulations. We're going to be back next week with Fur Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fur Crazy. For crazy.
And you know what, Ryan? If you like, I'm going to give you a challenge. If you
physical challenge,
you're coming down to that Greenville tomorrow. Or you're on your way down right after you get out of this.
Obviously.
Right, yeah. I've taken the afternoon red eye right after.
Afternoon, it's the green eye, and you're taking it down, and you're going to be here for the dinner, the VIP dinner. If you fall in love with our city, if you fall in love, here's my challenge to you.
Okay.
Stick around and be in the studio for the next episode.
Ooh.
Okay.
Stick around, be in the studio for the next episode.
This is what I want people to know. If next week here on Philo,
that's right,
Ryan's in the studio,
you'll know he loves Greenville.
Yeah, that Greenville. Might move here.
Yeah.
Certainly the first part. Yeah. But yeah, okay. You know what, Dan? Challenge accepted.
I love it.
This is exciting.
Good.
Exciting.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Until then, may we be the first to wish you. I don't know what.
Bye, Brand. Bye, Dan.
From the Deck the Hallmark
Am I throwing out
in July
candy?
Parade. Here we are. Hey, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. Is produced by Aaron Shea. What? For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.